Alright guys, I've got a 2022 Benelli TNT 135. Just did my 600-mile service on this for adjusting the valves, change the oil plugs, all that, as well as installing new Chimera intake. So that's what this video is primarily for, so I'll kind of show you that. And I'll kind of do a startup first and then talk about the install a little bit. So there's the intake. I put the outer wears filter on it as well, just to kind of keep any of the large stuff out of there. So we'll do a startup in a couple of revs, and then I'll kind of talk about it a little bit more, just because I've noticed that there aren't really too many videos out there that show this, but plenty of people have installed them. So, back here. And the engine is all warmed up. I just came off a long ride. Alright, so for first impressions, I've put about 100 miles on it since installing that filter there. And as far as power gains, I mean, the website will claim you get like 1 horsepower or something like that, which on a roughly 11 horsepower bike, you're in the realm of almost 10% bump. Hard to really say if you really gain that. Honestly, you don't feel anything, but the sound while riding is definitely increased, which personally I think kind of makes it worth it. I really like the sound, kind of the engine intake sound, not necessarily having a super loud exhaust, which by the way, I do have the stock exhaust on there. So I understand that's really probably the most restrictive part is kind of the cat in here, that big old can. Both extra weight and kind of choking down the engine a little bit, but getting rid of that while keeping the stock tips, which I really like, kind of just makes the bike pretty loud. And honestly, like I said, after installing this intake, I think the bike is as loud as I want it for now. Maybe we'll do something in the future. But if anyone is looking to install this, again, while I'm doing this video, is there's just not really any videos out there that go through too much of the installation process for this. It really wasn't all that bad. So if you go to steadygarage.com, which is actually where I got this Chimera intake, well, I bought the intake tube, which the actual tube can't really seal that well that the filter connects to into the throttle body. That was about $82 from Steady Garage, and it was like $10 for shipping or something. And then the filter I actually got off Amazon. It's like a KC TAC 1060, I believe. And I got that off Amazon. It's normally between $30 and $35. I actually got a quote-unquote used one for $15, but in the description it literally says it's in the original packaging, and it was. So I kind of made out on that one, just $15 for the filter, and like I said, about $82 for the intake. And on Steady Garage, it tells you the easiest way is to actually cut out the stock airbox that's there. I did not do that, just in case I want to return this back to stock. So I actually did the full removal. And just by the way, I also did do the ECU reflash for the bike, so it is kind of tuned for this intake. But as far as the install, because I actually removed it, I did it, like I said, in conjunction with the 600-mile service. So you have to remove the fuel tank shroud, the fuel tank. You're going to want to remove these side panels from each side, and then you're going to want to drop the tail back here, so kind of loosen up. There's like 6 or so bolts that hold the tail on, and you just want to drop basically this side. You can drop down, and then the air box you can kind of push it down a little bit more now because you'll be right up against here. I installed a back plate here, but you can take the air box, kind of push it down, twist it, and kind of pull it up. It is all real tight in there. And then installing the actual intake tube, that's real quick and easy. And you just got to button everything back together. Like I said, this kind of plate right here, it's actually aluminum, and I wrapped it in carbon fiber tape just to give it a little bit better of a look. But the reason for that is basically to prevent the rear wheel. So here's the back side of that plate that I did, rear wheel, basically right here, just to prevent it from kicking up directly just a bunch of crap into the intake. So it, and you know, just kind of keeps the engine bay kind of area under the seat a little bit cleaner. So if anyone's interested in that, I'll put in the description the dimensions that I used to cut that, which I actually got from someone else from the Facebook page, but it worked out pretty good. So yeah, let me know if you have any other questions. Just kind of want to do a in-depth review on that. Again, power gains, maybe not so much. I don't really know how much this may or may not have affected my fuel mileage yet, but for the sound alone, even while cruising, I really like it. I think it turned out pretty good. So let me know if you guys have any other questions. See ya.